So there are a lot of Christmas movies out there. Like obviously, there's a lot of really famous Christmas movies like It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Carol, Christmas Story, um, and then all the animated ones like Rudolph and Frosty. But one Christmas movie that nobody really talks about is Deck the Halls. And I think it's a pretty underrated Christmas movie, so I'm going to talk about it today. I know Christmas was a few days ago, but I'm going to talk about it now. Okay, so this movie stars Matthew Broderick, Danny DeVito, Kristen Chenoweth, and Kristen Davis. And in the movie, it takes place around Christmas time where Matthew Broderick is like a Christmas guy who every Christmas he decorates the entire town and he's like known as the Christmas guy. But then when Danny DeVito and Kristen Chenoweth move in, Danny DeVito kind of becomes the Christmas guy and he gets jealous. And also Danny DeVito wants to put up Christmas lights so that they can see his house from space. And it's like, and yeah. So that's essentially the plot of the movie. So Danny DeVito gets a bunch of Christmas lights and puts them all up, and Matthew Broderick gets annoyed with that and he tries to take them down. So yeah. So overall, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Matthew Broderick and Kristen Davis play a married couple, and I thought they had good chemistry. And then Danny DeVito and Kristen Chenoweth. Danny DeVito and Kristen Chenoweth were hilarious in this movie. They should have been in more movies together because they had a really funny dynamic as a married couple. And also, they had two teenage daughters in the movie, and the teenage daughters were like 6 feet tall, which is hilarious because Danny DeVito and Kristen Chenoweth are both under 5 feet. So that's hilarious. Yeah, so some funny moments they had were, so they're at like a Christmas carnival and they're competing in they're in like a skating competition, and that was pretty funny because like Matthew Broderick slips and falls on his ass basically, and Danny DeVito mocks him. There's a lot of physical comedy in this movie, and Matthew Broderick did a great job with it. There's another scene where Danny DeVito, sorry, I'm going to call them by their characters' names. Matthew Broderick's character is named Steve. Buddy's name, so Steve Finch is Matthew Broderick's name. His wife is named Kelly. Danny DeVito's character is named Buddy Hall, and his wife is Tia Hall. So Buddy and Tia Hall, their last name is Hall, hence the term Deck the Halls. It's wordplay. So anyway, yeah, so there's this scene where Matthew Broderick and, so basically Buddy gets a sleigh and these horses that he puts antlers on to make look like reindeers. And then Steve gets in the sleigh and the horses run off with him still in the sleigh, and he falls into like a frozen river, and when he wakes up, he's in the back of the car with Danny DeVito. They're both naked because because Buddy was trying to raise his body temperature, so he got naked and made him naked and got in the sleeping bag together. And then it cuts to Steve just screaming. He's going ah, like a Ferris Bueller moment where he just screams. And then when he screams, Buddy goes, oh, like he doesn't know why he's screaming. So that was funny. There were a few weird moments. Like there's this one scene where they're at the Christmas carnival right before they do the ski competition, where there are 3 girls who are dancing. They're basically doing like the Mean Girls dance, and then Steve and Buddy are like, oh, well, that's something we can agree on. And then they start like catcalling them and they yell, who's your daddy? And then the girls turn around and it's their daughters. It's Steve's daughter and it's Buddy's daughters. And then, yes, that was a pretty creepy scene. But then right after it cuts to them washing their eyes out with holy water. So that was pretty funny. Still kind of creepy though. They were catcalling their daughters. Let's talk about Kristen Chenoweth in this movie, because Kristen Chenoweth was really funny. Like I think like Kristen Chenoweth, I always thought has been good at has always had good comedic timing, and she sings in this movie towards the end. She sings, and Danny DeVito is my favorite actor of all time. So he did great in this movie. He played a car salesman. Buddy is a car salesman, and um, they didn't really talk too much about that. But yeah, he's a car salesman, and Steve is an eye doctor, and the kids are great in this movie. I don't know who the actors are because you don't really see them in anything, but the son and the daughter did. Steve and Kelly had a son and a daughter, and then Danny DeVito, and then Buddy and Tia had the twin daughters. I don't know who they are. I don't know the actors' names, but yeah, they were great. So yeah, and the lights are really cool too. Like I said, Buddy tries to put up all the lights to make his house visible from space. Like you know the Google Earth thing, Google Earth where you can see people's houses from the satellite. It was essentially that. So that was his goal of the movie, trying to put up the lights. And so yeah, he had like a light show every night, and that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, there's not really a lot to say about this movie. It was good. It was pretty good. Uh, yeah. Okay. Did you see Deck the Halls? What did you think? And what's your favorite Christmas movie? Talk about it in the comments below. See you next time. Bye.